Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Your Wealth Lives Within by Luckisha Townsend. How to use your most powerful wealth building tool to secure your future. Get your copy on Amazon today. Well, hi there. How are y'all doing today? It is February 1st. The festival is almost over, and I am so excited. I have been with you these last 2 weeks. It's been an awesome experience. We'll, be talking, of course, more about, my book, Your Wealth Lives Within. All right. I wanted to first let everybody know, I've told you a little bit about me, but yesterday was my official last day as employee for someone else. And so today is kind of like the official day that I am retired. So welcome to the 7-day weekend, right? So I'm so excited. It's just energizing to know that one chapter in your life, it has been finished and you finished it well. And now you can, go on to that next chapter, right? All right. So I want to start out by saying we, are interested in hearing your questions today. We'll definitely be taking your questions all this morning and this afternoon. Actually, the next two sessions that we have with you, we'll definitely be dealing more with your questions. It was awesome. So if you got those questions, we want you to definitely get them on screen so I can try to answer them. Hi, Ethan. Good morning, Luckisha. Congratulations. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm so excited. And so it was so funny. I had a little countdown that I did. that I put up on Facebook and stuff, and it was fun. I felt like a little kid, really. But it was just a great feeling to know that you accomplished something, and your finances definitely has a part to play in that. And so I was going to talk a little bit about more scripturally about financially, how in the Bible, how it talks about finances more than people really realize. The Lord wants us to be good stewards over our finances. He gives us the power to get wealth, that, by, empowering us with, skills and abilities, and to make an income, and so he wants us to be good steward overs, because he, like, if he can trust you with a little, then, of course, he'll trust you with a lot. And he also wants you to be generous, so he does not want you to, be close fisted. Ethan says, get any advice on how to achieve a successful retirement? We envy you. Well, in the successful retirement definitely has to do with your, getting your ducks in a row, trying to make sure that you're, you, unless, not in a lot of debt, and hopefully no debt. I paid off my house. I, gotten solar panels, paid those off, paid my car off. So I, and like some credit card stuff, I made sure that I had, got all those things, paid off, and now it's, just like I'm teaching you all, I still have to budget and manage my money, especially now that I'm retired, because now, I get paid once a month now. And so yes. And then also, investing, once you have gotten your finances in order, you can now invest, wisely, and making sure that you're building wealth, so you want to, if your company has a 401k, you want to, you want to know about it, if you can match, if you can increase what you contribute, to that, so you want to be involved in that, and then you want to get, in touch with, a financial advisor, investment, advisor, on where and to best put your money, because you want it diverse. You don't want it all in one basket. So, they will show you how to diversify your portfolio. Genevieve, hi, excited to be here, learning about what. Also, I'm glad you're here too, Genevieve. I'm glad to see you here today. Um, so like I was saying, and then you want to make sure that you have a Roth RA. So Roth RA is really important, because your 401k, anything that pre-tax, you're gonna have to pay taxes on. Okay, so eventually you're gonna have to, so that can, really kind of take a large chunk of your investment. So you also want to have Roth RAs, anything that you can invest in that's after taxes, okay? Because you already paid taxes on it, so you won't have to pay taxes on it again, okay? All right, so I did want to tell you a story about, I had a client last night. She was 22 years old. I um, got, introduced to her, I think it was in November. A friend of mine, she had this seminar she was doing, and she asked, some of the business owners, were they willing to donate some, products, service or something like that. I said, okay, yeah, I could do that, So I, uh, you know, uh, told them that they could do a 1 hour free coaching session. Okay, John says, good day. I have always wanted to attend a session like this. Awesome. And so she's awesome. She's 22 years old. She graduated last year. Okay, so she's getting ready to come up on her year, of post graduation. She told me about, she actually worked through her whole college years. She actually told me she was working 75 hours. I'm like, Lord. And then she said she carried about 15 credit hour load. So that could have been manageable. I think she knowing about that, and that the student loans, I think that probably was a great motivator. And then one of the big things I wanted to say was she had support. Her family was a big support. They talk about finance. And, if you were on any of the other lives, I talked about, the book is basically about, how your parents deal with money, if they talk about money themselves, if they talk to you about money. And she said that they always done that with her. And so that was awesome to find out that they, were very pivotal, in her education. I mean, she told me she went to the university here. She didn't want to go to this particular university, but she found out that this university gave her a lot of money. So this was pivotal in, her being able to pay on her, her loans, and get to the point where she could get them paid off. So our session last night, we, I asked her to, put together, her her debt and her income and all that. And so we kind of mapped it all out, you know. So when we came down to it, you know, look into what, you know, her even with her loans and stuff, you know, she had ended up, I think it was like $300 some left over, which was good. You know, some people are in the negative, you know. So I mean, so she, like I said, she was really wise, and you know, she was wanting to on one of the one thing she wanted to get coming up soon was a car vehicle of her own, because I think she's, you know, her parents are letting her use their vehicle. And so we got to looking at her numbers and stuff like that. And so when she told me about her student loan, she told me she said 1,752. And so I'm like, I said, you know, so I had to write down, you know, because you know you want to. Did I just hear she say 1,000, not 17,000? You know, so so I got so excited, and so you know, you know, she had some savings too, and so I said, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I said, I know this is gonna be kind of radical. You know, you might like cringe, because you know she had some savings, and mostly, especially for women, you know, when we have some money saved, that's our safety net, that's our security blanket. But that money that you put aside is for these emergencies, you know. And so I told her, I said, what I want you to do, call your student loan company, because usually you have to, you know, if you get ready to pay it all off, they, you know, they want to send you a letter, and you know, to say this is what you're going to pay, so you're not still paying interest, you know, after you paid it off. And I want you to take your savings and to pay off your student loans. And so in March, you will be without student loans, you know, and you have, you know, it'll be right before, you know, before your first anniversary of being out of school, you'll have your student loans paid off. And you should have seen her eyes pop up. She's, oh my gosh, you know. And I told her, I said, see, she had been putting money aside. She has it taken out, automated, you know, so she doesn't have to see it. Hi there, John. And so I told her, this is what you had done. As you know, you didn't realize this is what you were doing, but this, you had prepared for this particular moment right here. And so she said, oh my gosh, that is so, you know, she said, oh my goodness. And so that's what she's going to do. We're going to get back together. I told her in April, I said, you know, we'll try and, you know, hook back up. I told her, I said, I want to see something where it says your student loans are paid off. And then she had, you know, like, you know, $400 on a credit card, which was, you know, that'll be easy to take care of. And then I said, and then you can start building that emergency fund back up, and then start working on, you know, getting that last. So she had one that she has to, you know, do some investigation about how to, you know, be able to pay it off sooner. Okay, it says, Robert says, best thing to do before retirement comes is to make regular contribution to retirement accounts, such as for, yep. That is so true. Automate your savings. Yes, that is true. Yes, you want to automate any, you know, anything that you're doing when it comes to saving, investing, because if you're manually putting it in, I mean, believe me, something will always come up where, you know, it's like, oh, I can put it over here towards this or whatever. So yeah, so you want everything automated and have it, like, you know, especially when it comes to your emergency fund, have it in, you know, account that you can't easily get to, and then do, you know, also put it in like a money market account where, you know, you get a better return on the interest. And you can also make sure that, you know, you have access to it too. You know, sometimes when you put, you know, you have like CDs or something like that, you have to have it in there for a certain amount of time, but you want to make sure it's in an account where, you know, if you need to pull it out, you know, next week, you know, you will be able to pull it out, and there's no penalty towards that. So yeah, so I mean, so that was so exciting, and I wanted to make sure I shared it with you, how, you know, her parents, you know how her parents, you know, handled their finances, how they, you know, they talked about finance, they even talked about them with her. They helped build a foundation for her to build off on, now that, you know, now that she's, she was an adult when she's 18, but now she's gone through college. You know, when you're in college, you're still kind of, you know, in that, you know, that mystical land, you know, but then once you hit college, now, you know, stuff come, now you got to be adult, you got to be responsible for all of your expenses and stuff like that. It becomes real, you know. And so, but they have really, you know, prepared her to, you know, where, you know, she, you know, she's going to be, you know, like I said, you know, she can have her student loans paid off. Now she can start, you know, saving money to, you know, get her a vehicle, and so on and so forth. So now it's just keeping her on track to make sure, because she did have some things that, she kind of, we have all those little habits that we do. So, she'll just have to twerk those. And I told her to not, use her credit card, to like we put her some fund money. I told her to get it in cash, and and then that was all she had to use for that month. So that's going to be interesting to see what she says about that. Betty says, what do you think is the root of financial mismanagement? Um, Wisdom, or knowledge. Like the Bible said, that it's actually my company is called Increase Your Knowledge. It's based off of Hosea 4:6. Said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge," and that's what it is. People mismanage money because of lack of knowledge, and because lack of understanding of how money works, how you can make money work for you, how you want to control money and let it not control you. So that's, yes, the lack of knowledge is what the issue is. um Drill, I think it's it. I say last name Harper. So how do you believe your wealth lift will differ from any other book? The I would say that it deals with your mindset. I said that's why I figured that it's different from any other ones. Other ones, they're they're like this thick, and they're talking about all these different things. This book particularly, I wanted you to really sit back and think about how you know what happened, as you were growing up. What did you see, what you were growing up? Some parents, they think because they spend money on their kids, that's showing them love. So our perception and of money, and um what money does. People see money as how it makes them look, how it makes them feel, and so that's why people go beyond their means. People spend beyond their means because of all those perceptions that that they let outside influences put on them. And so instead of just being true to who you are and true to what you're trying to do, you have to stay focused, because you're gonna have people like, oh, wait, you ain't got to be that strict, or oh, you're boring, uh, you know, you just stingy, whatever, and so to try and to manipulate you and make you feel bad about you using your money wisely. So don't fall into those traps. Just stay focused. Robert said, also, you need to stay informed about changes in retirement taxes and laws. Yes, you do. Yeah. So that's where um, your advisor and, those people come into play, and you want to be involved. Don't kind of sit back and just kind of let them do it, and hope for the best. Yeah, definitely sit down with them and have a strategy, have a plan for where you want your money to go, and a plan for, like, when you get to retirement, how you want to use it. So yes, that is definitely correct. You definitely want to have a strategy. You got to have a strategy, because things are going up and up, and um, there we're possibly headed for another possible depression. Food is still continually going up. Everything is continually going up. Resources are becoming limited. um, and so we have to be wise. I talked earlier about in the Bible where Joseph interpreted the dream um, of the Pharaoh, and he said that it's going to be a 14-year period. The first 7 years was going to be plenty. So, the land was going to be prosperous and everything. And then there was going to be, famine in the land. So, I mean, where it was going to affect the whole world. And so he was setting them up to where people were going to come to them for resources. And so, he did Joseph's advice, and, they were ready, prepared. And so that's the same, same concept. You want to be prepared for what could possibly come in these next couple years or whatever. You definitely want to keep a supply. Always, you want, like, even like in the wintertime, you want to have a supply. You want always have an emergency blanket. You want to have a flashlight and stuff like that. When they talk about when you have may have national disaster or a storm or something like that, how they tell you about those. But you're supposed to also supply up, for in your house and even your finances too. You should, I think you should, probably, have some money in cash. Maybe not even in the bank, or something like that, just in case the ATMs go down or whatever, those kind of things. So yeah, so it's a lot to think about. It's and it can make you scary, feel scared and stuff like that. But be anxious for nothing, because God has you. He's always going to make sure that you're going to be, have what you need. All right, let's see if we got any other questions. We got about like 10 more minutes. Okay, Dorothy says, building wealth often requires discipline. It always requires discipline, perseverance, and willingness to step out of one's comfort zone. How do you address these challenges in your book? And what advice do you offer to stay motivated and focus on long-term financial goals? How I address it in the book is mainly, like I said, knowing your mindset. You got to change your mindset. You got to change your perception of how you think money is, how you handle money, um, and then to stay focused. You have to have a plan. Got to write the vision, make it plain. That's why you do a budget every month. Not just one budget, and it's supposed to last you 12 months. No, you got to do a budget every month because things change. Hopefully, you pay off some stuff so that so that now means you may have some extra money to put on the next one. So I always, when I'm trying to get someone out of debt, we do the snowball effect, which means you start at the smallest. It's just kind of like, I always think of it. It's like when you're losing weight, you want to, you lose 5 pounds and, you see some progress. So if you try and tackle the big one, it's going to take you longer. So that could, get you discouraged and then you drop off. So if you start with small baby steps, they call it baby steps, and and build up. So like a snowball, it start out small and then it builds up and gets bigger. And so then when it comes to that big one, you can probably pay it off like in one lump sum and be done with it. And then you can now focus on you want to get that emergency, that fully funded emergency fund. And what that entails is your household expenses. Okay. 3, 6 or 12 months or however long you want it, to be. And then, then you start paying off your house. If you have a house, then if you have, small children, start, investing in putting money aside for them. And, they have funds for them that you can, put in that's tax free. So that when they get ready to go to college, they can use that money towards that. And then, of course, now we're doing at least 15%. That's what we want to get up to. And then if you can do more, then start doing more. It's always about increasing what you're giving yourself. It's about paying yourself first, and that's what investing and and having a retirement plan and stuff like that. That's what that's all about, and paying yourself. Okay, if you work for someone else, you've helped them build wealth. Now it's time for you to help yourself build wealth. All right. All right, these questions are great. Okay, Robert says, have you sought professional help and guidance in addressing financial fears? If not, what barriers would prevent you from doing so? Yes, I have. Yeah, that's where that's how I got my finances the way they are, and then I also do that to also help other people. I'm always trying to educate myself so that way I can help the next person. So that's why I know when it comes to like investing, that's not something I don't have the expertise on, but I know that that you need to go to someone like like Fidelity or someone like that, or even if you may have someone who's actually associated with your employer. That's how I had it. Where I was working, they had a company that came in to help their employees and like invest outside of their 401k. And so those are the type of people you want to get with. If you like to do day trading and stuff like that, yeah, you'll have to deal with someone like that because I don't know anything about those type of areas. But definitely, there are those expertise out there that you want to search out. All right, Chad said, what type of investment can you suggest to those listening today. You want to have like mutual funds. Those are the basic. Mutual funds, things of those nature where you they're investing in overseas. They're investing, here, of course, here in the United States. You want to have a diverse portfolio. Okay, those are the basic type of funds of investment that you want to invest in. And like I said, your financial advisor will be the one who will tell you more about those. Okay, so because they will have access to those funds, and show you which ones you want to put your money in. So hope that helped. All right. So we're doing really well. Camilla, last name Williams, that's my maiden name. For readers who may be struggling with their current mindset and financial situation, what advice and words of encouragement do you have for them? Don't lose hope. Okay, don't lose hope. Don't always have. There's always a way out. There's always a way out. Um, you need to sit down and face your fears. Face sitting down and looking at those numbers. Um, I would say get a financial coach like me to sit down with you and say, okay, this is what it is. Okay, so now what areas can we work on to get you out of this current situation that you're in. And you have to be willing to let go of some of those stuff. You have to, if we ain't cutting off lights, of course. But anything that any subscription that you can end, you know you need to be really willing to to cut off those extra items. I mean, and it's only for right now. All right. So it's only until you get to where you're stable enough to where then if you want to add them back, then you can add them back. Because, by that time, now you're seeing, how well that you're doing. You may not want to, have all those things. Or you may like, okay, let me go ahead and search and see what is the best um, way I can get what I want. Like say when it comes to cable, and your TV viewing. Now you're gonna look and say, let me compare. Let's see who got the best out here. Instead of just going with just whoever is available or whatever. So when you have control of your money, see you have power. So now you can say, no, I don't want to pay them that. That's too much. Like when Netflix went to where you can only be under your Wi-Fi. Like, okay, so a lot of people, like when they went on vacation, they would use their Netflix, to watch movies, like on those downtimes but now you can't do that. So I said, you know what, that's, and then you're still charging the same amount that you were charging for that. Yeah, no, no. So I cut that off. Yeah, I sure did. All right, so we're almost at the end here. All right, so I also on my booth I put up on there. It says, "Can you discuss any trends or topics?" What I'll do, Robert, because we're getting ready to run out of time, I'll go actually to my booth and I'll answer that question there. But I will answer it. All right. So what I wanted to show and actually read was the financial prayer that I do when I am coaching in my coaching session. Actually, I'm starting a coaching group session starting the first week in March. And so this is what I give to them to read to themselves. We read it, in class. I'll start out reading it first, and then I'll, let each individual read it because they need, you need to hear it come out your mouth, and then, keep reading it to yourself for the whole year because, this will hopefully give you motivation and give you encouragement to know that you can accomplish your financial goals. All right. All right. So, okay, we're going to start. All right. So this is the prayer. All right. Father, today I pray that you grant me the strength to discern and dismantle every disruptive plan against my financial success this year. Today I'm asking for the wisdom needed to not just identify financial traps and setups after I am consumed in them, but Father, help me discern your direction before I get there. Father, I come against every attack, assault, and bad habitual financial habit this year. I declare your word over every trick and trap to waste or misuse my wealth building income, that no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. Father, get a hold of every enemy to waste money this year, even if that enemy is me. I bind every hindrance against my financial progress. If it be a spirit of procrastination, deal with it within me this year. If it be a spirit of fear and doubt, deal with it in me within me this year. Father, I pray today that same tricks of self-sabotage that I encountered last year when it came to my finances would be canceled and cast down in my life this year. Father, give me the wisdom to know when to say yes. Give me the strength when I need to say no. Give me direction when I need to make decisions. Give me vision when I feel stuck. Father, I pray that this year your plan in hand will lead and guide me on my financial restoration journey. I praise you in advance for the faith that I have that you are making this a year of great financial victory. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I hope you go to my booth and get that so that way you can empower yourself each and every day as you change your mindset, your thinking on how you deal with your money and how you handle your finances. We'll see you this afternoon. See you then.